Mean guitar Riffs. We're back with the best guitar series on YouTube, and yesterday I'm dressed like I eat the fucking gabagool. The previous episode focusing on E standard riffs did extremely well, and people have been asking for me to do other tuning specific videos, so here's the D standard riffs video. Yes, I'm planning to do E flat later on. But let's not waste any more time and get right into the riffs. To start off, we have one of the most iconic death metal riffs of all time, and the first one that came to mind when I was thinking of D standard. It's Decapitated with the song Spheres of Madness. Of course, this is one of the most iconic, most legendary death metal songs of all time. I think Vogue was around 20 years old when he wrote this song. And this is just a song that you can immediately recognize as soon as it begins. Next up is a song that just makes me go absolutely feral. It's the Red Chord with Fixation on Plastics. This is one of the most schizo-sounding deathcore songs of all time. The Red Chord is one of the most underrated deathcore bands ever. They were deathcore before it was even remotely cool to play this kind of music. And the intro riff of this song is just a statement. It's an absolute monstrous, violent riff. And I highly suggest you go check out the Client's album after watching this video. After that, we have a band that everyone knows is gonna be featured on this video. You cannot have a D standard riffs video without including this band. It's Gojira with the song Ocean Planet. There was no shortage of riffs that I could have included from this band in this video. I think about 80% of riff suggestions for this video were Gojira songs, and there's many riffs that I could have included like Stranded, Toxic Garbage Island, the heaviest matter in the universe, but I chose the end breakdown of Ocean Planet because it just features so many elements of what Gojira does in their particular style of playing, while still being very simple and very easy to follow. I think it's now time to add some metalcore to the list, and of course it has to be some OG, borderline mathcore kind of metalcore. And this is a song from a band that I love very much. It's Converge with the song The Saddest Day. I'm so happy someone reminded me that this song is in D standard, because if not, I probably would have forgotten, because most of their songs are in drop C, as most 2000s metalcore was. And this is just a very groovy staccato kind of riff that just is very simple and it's very mean. It's not the typical violent and noisy kind of riff that Converge usually plays, but it's very effective. We have a death metal band that is as old school as it gets, and it's a band that people have been asking to be featured on this series. I think this is the first Mean Riffs episode, and I've just been refusing to include them for some reason. It's Death with the song Pull the Plug. I knew I was gonna have to include Death on this video because it's one of the OG bands that tunes to D standard, and I think having one of the most simple riffs from the Leprosy album is the perfect choice for this kind of series. Honestly, it's one of Chuck's most attitude-filled riffs ever. Like, this riff is dead simple, no pun intended, but it's just not boring at all. think we can all agree that the guitar I've been using on this video sounds pretty good for this kind of riffs, and honestly it's a joy to play, and if you're interested in it, there will be an affiliate link in the description down below for you to check out. But next up is another one of the essential bands that I was gonna have to include on this video, bar none, and also probably the second most mentioned band out of all the suggestions. It's Mastodon with the song Andromeda. This is one of my top 3 favorite Mastodon riffs ever, and I just think it's a big accomplishment how mean it gets without having any chugging whatsoever. Yet again, we have another very old school death metal band, and one that has actually inspired a bunch of hardcore bands after the late 90s and 2000s. And also another one of the most iconic death metal riffs of all time is Obituary with Chop in Half. The attitude that this riff has makes it so fun to play. And also, even if you hear it instrumentally, you can perfectly hear in your head the singer going, I don't know, Obituary is a band that I don't tend to frequently listen to, but this song is just too much fun. I love playing this song. Also, a lot of people were expecting to hear some slowly weird raw riffs from Obituary in the last video, so here's some Obituary. Already had enough old school death metal for this video, so now it's time for some old school slam. And for that we have the pioneers of slam and the band that actually came up with that term. It's Internal Bleeding with Anointed in Servitude. I think this is the original slam song of all time, or the slam song that people refer to. You know, it's from the album with the guy going, and you can really hear how this song set the template for what will become slam as we know it today. We already had old school death metal, we already had slam, so now it's time for some technical death metal. And for that we have probably the most important band of that style, Necrophagist with the song Stillborn 1. This is probably their easiest to play sounding song, but don't let that fool you. This is not as easy as it seems to play. I don't think there's such a thing as a simple Necrophagist song. It's interesting how this album was kind of like the event horizon for technical death metal. It already existed before it, but the style was never the same after it. And besides that, I just love how this riff grooves so hard. Finally, we have a band that I didn't know existed until a couple months ago, actually. It's the band Speed with their song Real Life Love. This is a modern hardcore band that sounds very 90s, actually. Most hardcore bands these days tune to B standard or lower, but this guy's tuned to D standard, and honestly, they have just so much attitude. This particular riff sounds very Pantera inspired, or I guess Pantera mixed with like Obituary or like thrash metal, I guess. I don't know, it just goes stupid hard. Check this out. But hey, that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below what are your favorite D standard riffs, and let me know what other tuning you would like to see next. I'm gonna do probably most of the main tunings, But, you know, still. If you like the video, please click the like button down below, subscribe if you haven't, and click the notifications bell down below so you never miss a new video. If you would like to watch another video full of mean, nasty, and disgusting riffs, you can watch it right here. All my social media links and my Discord server link will be in the description down below, as always. So please go ahead and check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.